Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about the top 5 tips for new riders. Let's get into it. So, tip number 1 is safety gear, and first and foremost, you want to get yourself a good helmet. Now, a helmet is not something that you want to cheap out on. You want to get your helmet brand new first of all. You don't want to buy used because you don't know what's happened to it, and you don't want to buy some cheap knockoff brand because it might not have the same safety standards, and when it comes to protecting your head, you don't want to cheap out on that. Now, when it comes to other riding gear, like a jacket, pants, riding boots, something like that, that is something that you could spend maybe a little bit less money on. You could look for a sale, or you could even buy a good quality one used, because really if there's any defects, you're going to notice it right away, right? It's not like a helmet. So that is definitely something you could spend a little bit less money on, and you could probably find a deal on. All right, number 2, it kind of goes along the same lines with safety again, but if you are a new rider and you've never been on a motorcycle before, make sure you go to a reputable riding school. I have known people who have done it and they've had great experiences. Now, I've been riding since I was 7 years old on dirt bikes. I didn't take one myself. I still might in the future, but if you are a new rider, and especially if you've never been on a bike before, make sure you take a riding school, because they don't just show you how the bike works or how to ride a bike. They show you defensive driving. They give you stats on, understanding safety. They kind of give you the whole scope of things. They lend you the motorcycle to do your test on. They take you through obstacle courses so you can learn how to drive defensively. It is a good investment, and you should definitely do it if you've never been on a bike before. All right, number 3 is riding distance. Riding a bike is a lot different than riding a car. Now, when you're driving your car around, of course, it's the same thing. You're going to want to give riding distance. You want to be far enough behind a car where if an emergency happened in front of you, you have enough time to stop. But on a motorcycle, you want to have twice as much time. You don't have that protection around you that you have when you're in a car. Number 4 is turning. Turning on a motorcycle is a completely different world than turning in a car. When turning on a motorcycle, what you have to start learning how to do is how to trust the bike and trust the physics behind riding. So whenever you're making a corner, unlike in a car, you're going to be leaning the bike a bit, but you're also going to be doing something that you've probably heard of called counter steering, where if you are leaning and turning to the left, you're actually going to slightly turn your bars to the right. That's going to help lean your bike down slowly and properly. And when you lean through the corner, you get nice, smooth, even energy. And if you try to turn like you do in a car and just turn the wheel, well, your weight is going to keep going in the same direction while your bike goes in the other direction. And we all know what happens when that happens. All right, number 5 is shoulder checking. Shoulder checking on a motorcycle is incredibly important. It's more important than being on a car, and it could save your life. Your mirrors should only be a tiny reference for what is behind you. Whenever you're changing lanes, you're turning, you're doing anything really, you should be always fully looking over your back shoulder both ways, because it's really hard to see on those little mirrors on a motorcycle, and there could be a car coming up right beside you. And of course, hitting a car, even at low speeds on a motorcycle, is catastrophic compared to what happens on a car. So always do your shoulder checks. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Ride safe out there. Have fun.